ingbreaking.com. Lesson 1. Introducing yourself. Future tense. Questions and answers. Jane will be a Yank. Will Jane be British or American? American. Jane will be a Yank. She will be American. Will she be an Australian? No, she won't be an Australian. Jane will be a Yank. She will be an American. Who will be a Yank? Jane. Jane will be a Yank. She will be an American. Jane will be sitting in the restaurant alone. Will Jane be sitting with a friend? No, she won't. Jane will be sitting in a restaurant alone. Who will Jane be sitting with? She won't be sitting with anyone. Jane will be sitting in the restaurant alone. Will Jane be sitting in a hotel? No, Jane will be sitting in the restaurant. She will have just arrived in Vietnam. She will walk to a restaurant. Will Jane have lived in Vietnam for 6 months? No, Jane won't have lived in Vietnam for 6 months. She will have just arrived in Vietnam. Will Jane walk to a restaurant? Yes, Jane will walk to a restaurant. She will walk to a restaurant. Will Jane take a taxi to a museum? No, Jane won't take a taxi to a museum. She will walk to a restaurant. She will know no one in Vietnam, and she will be sitting by herself. Will Jane have many friends in Vietnam? No, Jane won't have many friends in Vietnam. She will know no one in Vietnam. How many people will Jane know in Vietnam? None. She will know no one in Vietnam. Why will Jane be sitting alone? She will be sitting alone because she will know no one in Vietnam. Jane will be feeling a little lonely because she will know no one and have no friends in Vietnam. Why will Jane be feeling lonely? Jane will be feeling lonely because she will know no one and have no friends in Vietnam. Will Jane be feeling lonely because she has no job? No. Jane will be feeling lonely because she will know no one and have no friends in Vietnam. Will Jane have many friends in Vietnam? No, she won't have many friends in Vietnam. She will know no one and have no friends in Vietnam. Quan will walk in, order his food, and sit at the table next to Jane's. Will Quan sit outside the restaurant at a table? No, Quan won't sit outside the restaurant at a table. He will sit at the table next to Jane's. Will Quan walk out of the restaurant? No, he won't walk out of the restaurant. He will walk in, order his food, and sit at the table next to Jane's. Where will Quan sit in the restaurant? At the table next to Jane. He will sit at the table next to Jane's and begin a conversation with Jane. He will begin a conversation with Jane. Who will begin a conversation with Jane? Quan. Quan will start a conversation with Jane. Quan will start talking to her. Will he finish a conversation with Jane? No, Quan won't finish his conversation with Jane. He will begin to talk to Jane. What will Quan begin with Jane? A conversation. Quan will begin a conversation with Jane. Quan will ask Jane questions to get to know her better. Will Quan ask Jane questions to hire her for a job? No, Quan won't ask Jane questions to hire her for a job. Quan will ask Jane questions to get to know her better. Why will Quan ask Jane questions? Quan will ask Jane questions to get to know her better. Will Quan tell Jane a story to amuse Jane? No, Quan won't tell Jane a story to amuse Jane. Quan will ask Jane questions to get to know her better. Jane will tell Quan her story and why she is in Vietnam. Will Jane refuse to talk to Quan? No, Jane won't refuse to talk to Quan. Jane will tell Quan her story and why she is in Vietnam. What will Jane tell Quan? Her story and why she's in Vietnam. Jane will tell Quan her story and why she is in Vietnam. Will Jane sing songs to Quan? No, she won't sing songs to Quan. Jane will tell Quan her story and why she is in Vietnam.